Greetings from the Wasteland, and welcome once again to our weekly check of the new releases, hopefully headed to an independent record store near you. This time around, let's check out the highlights of the releases scheduled for Friday, September 9th, 2022. And right off the bat, we're starting with a big one from none other than Ozzy himself. Brand new stuff from Ozzy. This is called Patient Number 9. This is Ozzy's 13th solo studio album release, and according to our description, it's a continuation from 2020's top 5 release, Ordinary Man. This 13-track project has a runtime of nearly over an hour and has some of the most legendary guests ever on an Ozzy release. 3 tracks alone feature Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, and Tony Iommi. Not to mention there's also some power hitters from Queens of the Stone Age, Pearl Jam, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses, Metallica, and Zakk Wylde, of course, Ozzy's long-standing guitarist from the late 80s, as well as some stuff from the late Taylor Hawkins. There are 2 different vinyl versions of Patient Number 9, as well as a third that has an extra add-on. The black vinyl version is double LP, 140 gram, and will list for about $35. And then there is an indie exclusive on violet vinyl, also a double LP, that one listing for about $36. Then there's a third version which has that violet colored vinyl, but includes a comic book, and according to our description, that comic book is from Todd McFarlane's. It's a add-on for Patient Number 9. The colored vinyl with comic book version of Patient Number 9 from Ozzy lists at $51. Now, for our local customers, make sure that if you're looking for this Ozzy release, you let us know. I have a feeling that they could be rather limited, so we got to get our pre-orders in on that as soon as we possibly can. New stuff also coming on the 9th from Bananarama. This is called Masquerade on limited edition blue colored vinyl. This is a brand new album, the 12th from one of the most successful girl groups in pop music history. So the brand new Bananarama on blue vinyl called Masquerade will list for about $29. An interesting collection from Joan Osbourne. This is called Radio Waves. Singer-songwriter will release a collection of unearthed live in-studio radio recordings. This 13-song album is a unique, hand-picked assortment of Osbourne's favorite and most captivating live appearances, called from over 100-plus radio station performances over her 25-year career. Single LP on black vinyl, Radio Waves by Joan Osbourne, will list for $22. Now here is an interesting one. Not much information is available, but we're going to go ahead with this anyhow. This is called A Fire of Life by the Stooges. Now our description on our distributor site is pretty bare, minimal. It just says the label is from Easy Action and it's a double LP, but I was able to find a little more information online that says A Fire of Life is a double CD or LP collection compiling 2003 and 2006 live recordings by Pop, Ashton, and Watt in Sydney and in New Orleans. They round this out with some high-quality basement demos of the tracks that would appear on the album The Weirdness, and will be rounded off with 11 tracks from the legendary stripped-back performance at Newbury Comics in Cambridge, Massachusetts in 2003. Doing a little bit more research, it looks like this was released back in July in Europe, so this could just be scheduled as a US release. But A Fire of Life by the Stooges will list for about $39. And speaking of the Stooges, we got word this week from our distributors that Rhino's Rocktober event, of course scheduled for October, will include 2 Stooges releases. Look for reissues of the self-titled The Stooges, as well as Funhouse. We'll have some more info on those a little bit further down the line. On the reissue front for the week of September 9th, we've got a couple from Moby and that ongoing drip release of Moby stuff. The first off is 18, coming on 140 gram black vinyl, and that will list for about $35. And Hotel, coming on 180 gram black vinyl, listing for about $28. First time on vinyl for a live Madonna release. This is Rebel Heart Tour, coming on double LP purple vinyl. The album features 14 tracks performed by Madonna in Sydney in 2016. And again, this is on purple Galaxy Swirl vinyl, limited edition, double LP, and will list for about $60. The mind-blowing 1998 debut album from the instrumental project Liquid Tension Experiment is being reissued for the 9th as well. This group, of course, takes 3 parts Dream Theater and 1 part King Crimson and combines, according to our description, to prog rock perfection. So the album Liquid Tension Experiment, coming on purple and black splatter vinyl from Cleopatra Records, will list for about $43. Faith No More's Sol Invictus also scheduled for a reissue. This one coming on silver vinyl and will list for about $26. There are 2 versions of a 2015 Danzig album also due. Skeletons, coming on either purple and electric blue vinyl or purple and white swirl with black splatter vinyl. Both of those listing for about $27 and coming from Nuclear Blast America Records. Another cool punk reissue from Bad Religion. This is Generator, a limited edition 30th anniversary green and clear Galaxy vinyl. This is the 6th studio album by Bad Religion, originally released in 1992. So again, Generator by Bad Religion will list for about $27. Have a reissue also on the way from the late Olivia Newton-John. This is If Not For You, limited edition 180-gram pressing. If Not For You is the historic debut studio album by the British-Australian singer-songwriter, originally released in 1971. Olivia Newton-John's If Not For You will list for about $26. We also have a reissue coming from the group Fanny from Real Gone Music. This is Fanny Hill. Limited edition milky colored clear vinyl is what our description says, and that will list for about $29. Here's a psychedelic pop reissue from the Bee Gees. This is called Spicks and Specks. Our description says, originally it was released in 1966. Spicks and Specks was the second record released through Australia's Festival Records and was written mostly by the then teenager Barry Gibb. Our description says it's packed full of rich vocal harmonies and simple arrangements. This was the definitive 60s pop sound. So the Bee Gees' Spicks and Specks on 180-gram vinyl will list for about $22. And speaking of bubblegum pop, how about this one from the Archies? Limited edition pink and white splattered colored vinyl. This is a repress of the 1968 self-titled debut by the cartoon superstars of bubblegum pop, the Archies. This has been released a few times over before, so this is just a new repressing with a new colored vinyl, but you've got some great Archies tunes on here nonetheless. So the Archies self-titled on black and pink splatter vinyl will list for about $33. A trio coming from the Reverend Horton Heat. We've got Smoke 'Em If You've Got 'Em, the full custom gospel sounds of the Reverend Horton Heat, and Liquor in the Front. All three of these are listing for about $25. Smoke 'Em If You Got 'Em coming on clear vinyl, and the full custom gospel on Coke bottle clear vinyl, and Liquor in the Front on crystal vellum vinyl, whatever that is. So look for those 3 reissues from the Reverend Horton Heat. Here's a neat combination from Elvis Costello and Bill Frisell. Deep Dead Blue Live, limited edition 180-gram translucent blue colored vinyl. This one coming from Music on Vinyl. Deep Dead Blue is the 1995 live album by Elvis Costello that documents a set of guitar vocal duets between Bill Frisell and Costello, recorded at the Meltdown Festival in London in 1995. A couple of greatest hits to pass along for September 9th as well. This is the Best of Roxy Music to coincide with the band celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. This career-encompassing collection from 2001 is available now for the first time on vinyl. So the Best of Roxy Music will list for about $40. Not gonna rickroll you on this one. We'll let it go this time. The Best of Me by Rick Astley, also scheduled for release on the 9th. This is a greatest hits album by the English singer-songwriter and, of course, includes Never Gonna Give You Up. The Best of Me, Rick Astley, will list for about $27. And finally, we've got a Mo-Fi release. I don't want to get into this whole controversy because Mo-Fi stuff is out there, and I'm sure it still sounds good. But here is one from the Eagles. So they are reissuing On the Border from Mobile Fidelity. This is an original master recording, mastered from the original master tapes and pressed on RTI Mo-Fi Super Vinyl, limited to 10,000 numbered copies. So this version from Mobile Fidelity of the Eagles On the Border will list for $170. And I guess 'tis the season, almost. It's too soon to start talking Christmas, but we've got one of those. But let's talk Halloween first. Vince Guaraldi and the classic It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown is set for reissue with a couple of different cool variations. First off is a black vinyl 45 RPM release of It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Our notes say that this contains the original analog session reels for It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. What you hear on most tracks of this new and improved best version of the soundtrack are the musical cues as recorded by Vince and crew before they were edited for the television special, in show order, as well as a selection of alternate takes. And again, this is mastered at 45 RPM for optimum sound with new expanded liner notes. So the black vinyl version of It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown will list for about $26. But wait, there's more. There's also a shaped vinyl version of that coming out as well from Kraft Records. Our description says this album also contains the original analog session reels for It's a Great Pumpkin. This is a 33 1/3 RPM, and again, it's a shaped vinyl, the shape of a pumpkin, and that version of It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown on clear orange shaped vinyl will list for about $30. And that is a quick look at the highlights for the releases due on Friday, September 9th. As always, if you see something you'd like us to try to get a hold of, contact us here at the store. We'll get it tossed into our pre-order list. Just as a reminder, there's a lot more releases out there, so if we missed something, please let us know in the comments below or drop me a line here at the store. And as always, sometimes production delays, shipping delays, and the like could cause these releases to be delayed getting to the store near you. That happens a lot, especially with the music on vinyl or the import ones. We're doing our best. So until next week, we will talk to you next time from Radio Wasteland Records. Thanks a lot for being here.